Keep the money in the bloodline. We already did enough time. Never put a god above mine. Everybody deaf, dumb, blind. Mankind kinda unkind. Pull a gun on me, the gun die. We smelling like a skunk die. Fungus is a fungi. When the plug dry, got a supply, you should come try. Can't buy it in your jump drive, it's a drug crime. And it's so raw, I could cut mine like it's soft white in a lunch line. And it's still pure like a monk mine. In the uprise, I'm a young fly nigga, so you know I run and jump high. I can touch sky, I can look into a dove's eye. Staring in the sunshine, I don't blink one time. I was on a tough climb, made it up fine, now I'm doing just fine. On the upside, long raining at the peak level, shed a top tier if I must cry. Daddy never knew his son rhyme. Turn the battle to a blood drive. Sipping blood wine, trying to unwind in a truck, but I never drunk drive. In a Tesla, just ride. Black king, but the skin gold like my flesh temple is a touch shrine. Head shaped like an Anunnaki with my arms out, I'm a side. Hang a profit on the plus sign. Blank check cause I'm unsigned. God handed me a lemon, turned it into Sprite, I just needed one line. Tap sensor to the drum line, punchline, leave a shoe tongue tied. My voice sounds like Malcolm Martin Khaled if they all combine. I do everything in one try. Hand goes where the pen moves. Pen pals with a dead dude. Grandmama made the best soup, but I couldn't eat it cause I bent spoons. Take a tap, dab, then shroom. Needle with me like a thread spool. Just a few of the essentials if you wanna get me in a zen mood. Calculated in my next move. Retire undefeated, then lose. Footprints that I left huge. All 10 toes need 10 shoes. I came a long way from the dirt. I was a lost stray on the search. Try to ignore pain, but it hurts. Negative thoughts making it worse. I was like Kanye in a crash. I feel like God gave me a curse. Now I know God gave me a gift. Feeling like Kanye in the church. I came a long way from the dirt.
Peace, family. We back. Me and Blue Pillar. Red is a little late, y'all. So I know y'all waiting, but I wanted to start. He'll be here in about 5 minutes. Yeah, for those asking what that track was, that's Cambada. That's me and Cambada right there. It's me on the beat, Cambada with the lyrics. Holy Ghost 3 coming soon. That's all I'm gonna say. Holy Ghost 3 coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah. Blue Pill, what's up? Welcome back, my brother.
Yo, tell you, I'm ready too. I got my verse finished. I'm ready.
Indeed. Yeah, Red and Blue, they got this track that's crazy. Wait till y'all hear it. Also, make sure y'all go to Amazon. I got the book Kayla Petey in the Forest.
Yes.
Right here. Make sure y'all go cop that on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? That's my mom's book right there. I'm gonna be talking about that probably in about a couple of weeks. We're gonna be dealing with children books and educating children. So yeah, I mean, Blue, man, a lot. The world is woo shit. Yo, Blue, I did a show on Mark Zuckerberg 2 days ago with Chicago Crypto, and today this motherfucker unveiled a whole logo. He got a logo, all types of shit. I'm like, damn, this world moving fast.
They got a stock market ticker already to reflect the new company. That nigga's ready to put that old business behind him. He like, nigga, I done moved on. Like, they did a hit job in the media on him, right?
Facts.
Yeah. Where over 100 plus companies, press media companies, simultaneously released what was called the Facebook Papers.
Right.
Because the so-called whistleblower, she got treasure troves of information that she released. And, you know, depending on whatever your investigative niche is something there for every person. So all of these media outlets tackled different facets, you know what I'm saying, of the story and approached it. Now, I don't know who the hell he pissed off in Washington, you know what I mean? Which is a hard sell altogether because they own Facebook stocks. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on, and they put the torpedo pack on crypto and NFTs with this move, the metaverse. You know what I mean? But
out of here.
Yeah, like what have I been saying since February? I said that this shit is metaphysics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you've been saying that, my brother.
I said astrologically, I said that if you look at every sign, when every sign comes in, there'll be fluctuations of the market. I thought these niggas was gonna run with that. You know how they be stealing shit. They didn't even maximize that. You know what I mean? And not only has it been so pinpoint, it has been like a second. It's the day before the sign comes in now is when you see the fluctuation. So I said, based on what takes place in Libra, which is the scales, we'll see whether crypto is dead or whether it resurrects in Scorpio. Now, the day or the day before, all the way up until the day that Scorpio came in, that's when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, and it has continued to accelerate. And then as a result, it has what? Caused all of the other coins to resurrect and rebirth themselves. We've been talking about the dog coins since DMX transitioned. And I was like, watch, it's gonna be a dog year. And because in Aries, when they're supposed to go on the bull runs, the dog coins is the ones that led the dog sledding of the bull run. And now with Shinu and the rest of them,
to the moon. I'm part of the
yeah.
Shiva army, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Flex your muscle, Rich.
I'm part of the
Come on.
Shiva army. I'm part of
That
the
part.
Shiva army.
Hold on.
Yo,
That part.
they falling a little bit though, man. They
Don't worry about that.
falling a little bit. It's gonna pick back up. But yo, I quadrupled. I think that's the right word. I quadrupled.
We don't even use those words no more, Rich. We be
What we
on
use?
quadruple. We parabolic wallets. You know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
shit.
Parabolic wallets.
Yo, fam, when I say I came up on Shiba, I came up. But like we said, one thing, don't invest your last dollar, family, because y'all get scared and y'all pull it out. I just let it sit there because the shit dropped damn near 70% of what I invested. But Red, I ain't get scared. I just let it sit there. It dropped 70% of what I invested. I just let it sit there. And the shit just, I think it went up like 1,000% in the last month, I think, or something like that, man.
Bro, over in a year, it went up. Blue got the chart. In 1 year, it went up 7 million.
7 million%, right? So again, unprecedented. No one has seen returns like this on any asset. You're making an investment into an asset class, and the shit is giving you a 7 million% return, right? In a year. Again, let's get into the show because niggas need to get Squid Gamed if they not in this shit, man. Let's go. Now I see what it's about.
Push you niggas right off the ledge.
Yeah.
Go ahead and step on that glass. Yeah, that part.
Yeah, I just binged on Squid Game. Gotta get your opinion on it. It's one of the most talked about shows in the world right now. I think it's Netflix most popular show ever, right? Most
talking about the closer or Squid Game?
No, just the Squid Game. The whole,
I know.
But yo, man, it's a very interesting show, man. I want to get your take. We there's so many different angles. I guess you could approach it from a metaphysical or financial, a humanity level, many different levels you could approach it from.
Yeah, it's all intertwined right now.
One of the most smartest things that your boy Meek Mill said was that he compared that to the hood.
Squid Games? Wow.
Straight like that. Nah, the Squid Games. He was like, that's a hood, that's a trend. He said if those Korean actors were Negroes, there would be an uproar about it. You know what I'm talking about? People would be in their woke PC culture bag because they would be like, damn, how you depicting us like that? You feel me? But if you replace the Koreans with actual let's say bums of New York, the homeless, niggas in the train station, dope fiends on 125th Street in Lexington, right? And superimpose them, you'll see the glaring comparatives. And instead of the Korean games, they playing Scully, they playing Skelly. You feel me? They playing CeeLo 456. Yo, whoever ace out,
red
you
light,
body.
green light,
Yeah, musical chairs. Yo, Negro
Cops
games.
and robbers.
Yeah, hide and go seek.
You know. Manhunt, yeah.
Manhunt. Oh, yeah. But this is the this is signaling the introduction to the average American to Korean cinema, right? Keep in mind that we were onboarded to Chinese cinema through John Woo and The Killer. Right, it took me watching the Wu-Tang Hulu special, and they had the episode with The Killer, and then they had John Woo, and I was like, damn, Hard Boiled, The Killer, you know what I mean? And they showed how they caught the sample from that. So we were onboarded to the spectacularness of Chinese quote unquote cinema when we were just on some kung fu thing, but they upgraded it with John Woo, right?
Right. And
then
we would introduce to Japanese cinema by way of anime.
Okay.
That part. Yeah.
Right. Now we're being introduced to Korean cinema.
Right.
Right.
And then it don't stop because they have back titles that are kind of lit. And Netflix was like, because of the popularity of the Squid Games, that's gonna be like how you see how they was going hard with the Nigerian movies.
Right.
Who should be taking notes, you know what I'm talking about? No offense to Nollywood and whatnot, but that shit is trash. You know, quality wise, it's an abomination.
And it's compared to me, it's non-consequential, because what we're witnessing is the culling, right, of humanity, of society. The fact that you can look at your own American Horror Story. If I put it on TV, though, you're gonna be what is called is entertainment, right? You become enraptured in it. Damn, I think we had a name for it. I call it entertanglement, right? When you're looking at your life on screen and you become entangled with your own narrative, you rooting against yourself.
Right.
Not knowing that you the op on the big screen.
Right.
And you're being primed to do what we always do. Oh, I'm conditioned to this shit, right? I can only make a cultural entertainment reference, but not a living life reference. It's like, no, nigga, you in the Squid Games right now. They're destroying the middle class, right? I mean, literally,
it's about people in debt.
They're in Congress, right? The country's in debt.
Trillion.
Right? The country's in debt to its creditors, but it's taking its what? It's taking its collateral, which are the people who pledge the faith to a system that's defunct, right? They pledge the faith to upholding shit that's de facto.
A de facto system.
So they're turning around and they're saying what? We owe our creditors, so we have to liquidate, right? How do you liquidate? You destroy and decimate the middle class, where now it's only two systems. So as we move towards the priming of socialism closer and closer, you're going to see nothing but Asian cinema, because Asian cinema is already going to entertain you from that pace, that space, and that place, and that position of social status, a social credit system. You niggas owe, right? Then you degenerates. You feel me?
Right.
If you're a debtor, if you have debt, you're a degenerate. You're somebody's slave.
You're a peon.
Yeah, you're
a peon, you're a debt slave. You are what is known as what is a vassal. You know what I mean?
So people is like, oh, that's deep. And I'm like, nigga, do you not know what world that you live in right now? You don't see the train, moving on the tracks. You don't see yourself moving towards this. Right? You don't see that. You don't see them creating a two-tier system in society, and they're utilizing social sciences, social engineering to show you how easy it is. Just last year, niggas was marching talking about discrimination, and this year they are participants in the discrimination.
Right. They did it in less than 12 months.
Yeah, they did it in less than 12 months.
They separated society with a line, with a
straight line. Yes.
So again, we keep telling people what the biggest religion in America is Americana, and the way that you put people in game in Americana is that you draw a distinction, right? And you juxtapose society to say, what, I'm gonna empower you with privilege. You one of us, right? You down with us, you gang, right? What KRS once said. Yeah, he's down with us. You feel me? Everybody else is a op. You're gonna want to be on a team that's the down team, right? It's the same thing that our people have continuously said about the marchers and the people that are protesting, or people who said that they have issues about America. You don't want to destroy America. You just want a better position at the table. You want equitable. You want to be equitable, right? You want to have your day in the sun.
Look, Blue.
Everybody in America wants to be an American. No one wants to be an illegal alien, which means what? You don't want to be on the outskirts. You don't want to be without privilege. You don't want to be downcast in the caste society.
You don't want to be the outcast. You don't want to be an outcast.
The downcast.
Or downcast. You don't want to be a fourth-class citizen. People actually came from what they erroneously labeled third world countries, right, to America for the American dream. Okay, if you talk to somebody from Jamaica, if you talk to certain people from the islands and whatnot, the biggest sin is being deported, right? Being sent back to what they call being sent back home is the biggest sin.
Right.
That's a death sentence to some people. You cannot go back with your quote unquote, you know, with your belongings and step off the plane coming back and you failed the mission. You did not understand the assignment.
Yeah, there's nothing honorable about that.
There's nothing honorable whatsoever about that. You were to come here and like Tony Montana said, what did he say America was? Right? A big yoni waiting to get poked. I'm trying, you know, it's 5 o'clock. I don't, you know what I mean? I want to be respectable. Right. Somebody said a worthless deportee. They was bodying dudes when we was in Flatbush in the 90s and they was getting sent back. They was laying them down.
Yeah, you get bodied. You go back home, you get bodied. You're worthless. Nobody could do nothing with you.
Nothing could be done with you. You went to the land of milk and honey.
Forever. Yeah.
Right. You went to the land of milk and honey where the streets are paved in gold, my nigga. Where even being homeless, you still lit. Versus what could happen in some of these places where they don't have as many options. We're talking about income streams. We're talking about probabilities and potentialities and possibilities to get it, to get to it, right? There's 1,000 ways to make money in America. It's not like that everywhere else, okay? It's not like that everywhere else. So it's about getting to it out here. The people who come over here that we try to get on our team, that we try to quote unquote get down. Yo, I need y'all to protest with me because we under pressure. We got it bad. Shit is not right for us. They took something from us. You know them people looking at you like you the biggest lame on 2 feet. You know what I'm talking about? I got 3 jobs. My pops is working till he's 90. Them Jamaican, them people from the islands is super strong back. You know what I'm talking about? They work until it's over. Even after they finish working for the white man, they in the backyard fixing shit. You know what I mean? They're doing things. They're active. That's the culture. That's how they're reared. That's the culture. It's not something haphazardly. That's the culture. You can't be worthless. You have to be hands-on. You go down south, the men are hands-on. They're not worthless. They keep it moving. Even the crackheads is working. What is your excuse? You can't. Nobody wants to hear your sob story.
Crackheads.
You look mad lame. Nobody wants to hear your sob story. Like Blue Pill said, we went to the UN and they sat us down and they said, look, we got niggas who came over here on tires.
Yeah, on inner tubes.
On inner tubes across the ocean.
So they swam the Atlantic from Central.
They swam the Atlantic.
What's your excuse?
What is your excuse? This is Africans
talking we don't
to
want
us.
Hear nothing that you niggas is talking about. If it's in the victimhood you know what I'm saying?
They allergic
Space.
to that.
Like,
Yeah, they like shake it off. Like, get that away from me. They not dealing with none of that victimhood consciousness. Them niggas is rebuking that.
it's a fact.
They don't have, the European is not having conversations with anybody from any of these countries that they went over and invaded and colonized, right? And then allowed their citizens visas to come over here to be a part of their free trade and whatnot. They're not, you don't see Becky and them and Tad and whatnot. They're not sitting down having victimhood pity parties. They're giving you different they're giving you different income streams, whether it's through the illegal way or whether it's through the legal way. They plug into Netflix, they plug into TV, they see white people up there trapping, doing all kind of white collar, blue collar crimes, get into it, or they're on their fake professions and whatnot. They're lawyers and doctors and all of these other things. That's the inspiration of America that these people are aiming for. Not you niggas and not what you talking about. That's not it. That's not it.
Ain't nobody come over here and get underneath that narrative, get behind it.
Nobody did that.
Right? Nobody. Everybody blew past and got on the other side and is looking at niggas like, it's a goddamn shame. All that potential y'all got.
Let's get back to the movie.
It is the movie.
Oh, we talking about the movie.
Right. I want to in terms of the elites, and let's use a comparison about what we see going on today with Mark Zuckerberg changing the symbol of Facebook.
Rebranded.
Mm-hmm. Is it possible we see how the elite use the people for entertainment and take advantage of them in the whole debt system? We're all doing, you're doing a workshop later on today, Red. I got one with Chicago Crypto on December 11th.
Shout out to Chicago.
Is this finally going? We have seen this happening for thousands of years. Is the blockchain, crypto, NFT, DeFi movement, is it finally going to end this system that has been in place for thousands of years?
Let me share something with you, Rich, about the blockchain that I've been teaching some of my students, and I'm going to share with your platform.
Yes.
When they auction the slaves, right? Where did they auction them on?
What do you mean? Wasn't they first on Wall Street or something like that?
Yes, but when they actually put the slave up for sale, what did the slave have to stand on?
An auction block.
And what was on his feet?
Chains.
So keep in mind, when it comes to the blockchain, it could be used for both good and bad. The blockchain is an open ledger, right? Where it's immovable. Whatever information is on there cannot be moved, right? It's an open ledger. So in the society that we live in, where Blue was pointing out that we're moving into what China has implemented with the social quote unquote credit system. If the government, because remember, it's the same thing, guns don't kill people, people do. Right. So when it comes to this technology, like the blockchain and like cryptocurrency, you have Nigeria. They just launched their nation's coin. America's coming with the Fed coin. That's why they were turning down other coins and whatnot. They're trying to regulate and whatnot. They will utilize technology to their benefit. They're not going to utilize technology that is quote unquote bending, to put you in power. So with Facebook positioning themselves, they didn't call that he didn't switch, because Google switched their company and rebranded themselves as Alphabet, right? Mm-hmm. Snapchat rebranded themselves as Snap. Facebook rebranded themselves as Meta to represent the metaverse. What does that mean? That means 5 to 10 years from now, when you have any conversation about the metaverse, it's only going to be about Facebook. That is the most narcissistic, egotistical name switch that I've ever seen. He basically swooped in ever.
Wow. Shit.
Because if you have the mitigated goal to give up $1 trillion brand, right? Mm-hmm. And then rebrand it underneath something else, that means that you are projecting that this is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar brand, right? You're not just going to throw it. And his shares went up $4 the minute they announced it. Like it's up because the investors know. It's not about the public. We're in a dark. We're not shareholders. He already had the meeting about the next 5 to 10 years years ago.
You a squid, nigga.
You a squid. So how can a company that just
you just a customer? You the niggas that blindlessly power my network and give me free data. You're not a shareholder necessarily that I have to answer to.
Boom, blue. Right. You are the squids that every time something happens to you, my shares and my money go up. Like when they die, the money come down, the shit come into the piggy bank. So whenever somebody commits suicide, whenever somebody go and drill something based off of Facebook beef and all of that, their money is going up. Henceforth, they in the trillions because they're selling data. Yo, Palatine, right? He'll go to dude Peter Thiel and whatnot. Peter Thiel is behind Palatine. That's the AI program that all law enforcement use. Peter Thiel. We have a group of Black individuals from Chicago that was utilizing our platform to get into some type of beef. And there's 5 bodies this weekend. Matter of fact, it's 6. Somebody just died. I got all of the data on these niggas, right? We got all of the data on what Dirk and them was doing when they was beefing with young NBA and all of them. We got all of their DMs. We got all of the data. They're selling that data to third parties, to law enforcement, all of that shit. You understand? That's how they get their bread. Surveillance capitalism is bigger than just ads and all of this stuff. That's the cover. That's like surface. Underneath it, they're selling data. So even when Negroes was out there protest, if they kill somebody and they make it a hashtag, that's money for the big companies, for big tech. You dig what I'm saying? Because all of that outrage and whatnot is monetized. That the attention is monetized. We're in the attention economy. Liar Cohen said, "All I need is your eyeballs." He said, we're catering to lowbrow society now because we don't even need you niggas to buy a subscription. We don't need you to buy an album. We don't need you to buy a record. We don't need you to buy the concert tickets. We don't need you to buy merch. All we need you to do is watch the videos. Henceforth, when he went to YouTube, all of the drill rappers had they had parabolic wallets because their numbers exponentially grew 300-something%. Coincidentally, this is around the same times that the Migos was signed to him, right? And then they wiggled out the deal, and then he got Young Thug and a few other people, and them niggas blew up on YouTube. That was his work. That was his work, and that's Dame Dash and them was trying to wave that flag, but he stepped ahead of them and jumped out the industry and went into YouTube. Right, into big tech, into $1 trillion company, right? And then Dr. Dre and his mans and them, they go over to Apple Music, right? With the beats and everything. They're in Apple Music, and that's how they restructure everything. But when I see these big corporations, how is it that Facebook is on Capitol Hill? They got whistleblowers, they got trials, they doing trials in the UK, they having these committees and whatnot. So overnight, he just got a change of heart and he changed his name of the company and now they're doing good. No. If regular social media was invasive and they had people going into depression for comparing themselves and doing all of these other things and trying to keep up with the Jones and stuff like that, and then they were basically, the algorithm was giving you news that they wanted you to get, right? There's a whole bunch of great things going on with all of the people that's following you, but you'll never see that. Only gonna see RIPs. You're only gonna see niggas flashing and flossing on you. You're only gonna see people beefing. You're only gonna see people with poverty consciousness. You're only gonna see fake Negro outrage because that's what Algae Rhythm decided that you are going to be in that echo chamber. And if they keep giving you, it's almost like if they put you in a room and keep playing rock and roll music every day, soon you'll lose your mind, right? That's why niggas is walking around here with long faces. Nobody want to be friends anymore. Everybody is snaking everybody. You know what I mean? Niggas are not who they used to be because of social media. And it's only going to get worse in the metaverse, because now in virtual reality, we're going to all be in a room together. We gonna be in, we put the Oculus Rift on. You'll see what I'm talking about. I've been telling people this for years now. I'm like, yo, Facebook is about to go into the metaverse. They about to go fully virtual with Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook, because those are billions of people. You put that Oculus Rift on, you'll understand what I'm talking about. That is a reality that the average Negro is not ready for. So if you think your children are encapsulated by Fortnite, Roblox, and all of these other games right now, wait till them niggas put on their motherfucking virtual reality glasses. They're not even going to know that they're in real reality. Henceforth, Alexa, play Real Player One. That's where you going, nigga.
To this day.
That's where you going. Real Player One. Day. Augmented realities. Spatial reality. When they come out with the glasses and everything is going to be in front of you, spatial reality. But it also is going to play out to whereas if the police wearing the spatial glasses, they could look at blue and they could look at red and blue, and then they'll automatically see our social media rankings. They'll automatically see if we're a threat. You know how the cops got the body cam? The body cam is about to step it up to whereas they're going to be able to read different metrics on you. Okay? So that's where we're going with it. You know what I mean? That's where we're going with it. So yeah. Go ahead, Blue.
So yeah, again, like I said, it's the perfect priming, you know, to introduce a narrative like Squid Games at this time. You feel me? And you know, people want to always identify with the protagonist, right? But they're going to be dismissive of all of the elements they've been introduced to just as entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's a perfect expose of capitalism and how they can create a dog eat dog reality, right? Based on access, based on privilege, you know what I'm saying? And based on a scarcity model, right?
Right.
They created a fucking dominance hierarchy right there. And people is applauding that shit. And I'm like, you in it. Right now. But you can't see it. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, man.
Right.
You know?
Yo, why no, indeed. In these movies, I've seen this before in many other movies, like I've seen in Squid Games. You see how the elite, they got all the money, but they want this sick form of entertainment, and they want to see the people get down and dirty. They want to see the people, they want to bring the animalistic nature out of people. Why do you think, and one of the things the old dude said at the end is that people who have a lot of money have something in common with people who don't have no money. And what he said is that they they're bored or they don't appreciate it, something of that nature. Why do you think people
shoot they load?
Why are they so unfulfilled with all that money? I don't, you know, a lot of people wouldn't get that. They so unfulfilled, so unhappy.
Well, what they were touching on was the mentality that I've broke down before. I suggest everybody go and get the book from Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged. Right? Altruism. Go and tap into Ayn Rand and Atlas Shrugged. One of the most that's one of the most popular books in America. The Europeans, that's their programming. Ayn Rand is their programming. That's one of their master teachers and whatnot. And what she teaches is basically, you know, the altruism model is, you know, let the dead bury the dead. You know, they don't, you know what I'm saying? It's the opposite of being very compassionate. And I was told before, the evil is the absence of compassion. So it's this aspect. Keep in mind, Squid Games is not the first movie. There's Hunger Games. Yeah. There's the first Purge. Where the first Purge, they set it up to where the homeless people was out there killing each other. There's the thing with Ice-T when he had the dreadlocks and whatnot. I forgot the name of that movie. There's about 20 movies.
Was that Judgment Night?
I don't think it was Judgment Night. They'll say it in the chat rooms. It's the one where he had the locks and they had all of the homeless people fighting a game of death.
Yeah, they had him hunting. Yeah.
Right? Why did they have the rich people flying to Epstein's Islands taking advantage of little girls? Yeah, the hunt came out recently. Why did they have people going to take advantage? Why is child sex trafficking one of the biggest and one of the biggest? Why is child pornography one of the biggest underground, industries on this planet? That's the rat line that feeds what they call the deep state. Niggas talk about they're supposed to eradicate it. What happened? You niggas forgot after you voted for Joe Biden. You know what I'm talking about? You dropped the case. You dropped the case and people still disappearing, right? They feast and they look down upon, right? And they abhor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Think about how real that is in this country in terms of the missing people, the accusations of, child abuse and abduction. Think about how real that is. Once again, because there is now a entertainment overlay, people are just going to fall back into talking about what they like about the shit and what they don't. It's entertainment all over again. But I'm like, damn, these missing people, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are situations, you know what I mean, that we'll never revisit.
Cryptocurrency and
right,
the idea that
bro, you all right?
Yeah. My fault. I had to fix something real quick.
Right.
My system. But go ahead, yo.
Okay. Yeah. just this continuous idea that once again everything is entertainment. You know what I mean? The things that are actually real that are happening in our lives, we don't lend the same amount of vigor, the same amount of, you know what I'm saying, interest. You know what I mean? Right. We don't got the dialogue for that. You know what I mean? We're not ever gonna revisit no conversation about that situation that came out in 2016 about DC and missing children and pizza stops, and we can't even talk about the shit. That was the first censoring. Right.
The name of the movie that I was referring to for the records is Surviving the Game. Ice and Gary Busey. So keep in mind organ harvesting, right? How do these people go to places where disasters have struck? They have a disaster industry. Why do these NGOs fly right over to where disasters have struck and snatch orphans and their organs up? You feel me? Mm-hmm. Why did the white helmets go into Syria when they were bombing that place and they were basically extracting all of these people and taking their organs? You feel me? Why did they do what they did in Haiti? Mm-hmm. Why, you know what I mean? Like, why are they doing the Jabberwocky to babies and senior citizens and stuff like that? These people that we speak of, why at Davos and other places where they come together, the World Economic Forum, did they talk about depopulation? Why? You know what I mean? Why is the black rhino extinct? You dig what I'm saying? Why did they go to the safari and clap down all of these animals that are heavily melanated and eradicate them? Why are there no more buffaloes? Only in Rough Buff. Why is there no? You know what I mean? Like, these are the same people who have game heads on the wall. That's why they were showing that they were wearing the mask and whatnot, and the masks were the actual animals. These are hunters.
Right. So when you develop a voracious appetite as a capitalist, as a serial capitalist, right? You done knocked everything down, right? You done figured out everything that your money can buy. And it's like, what's next? Like, let me see if I can tap into the raw human emotion of how bad niggas want this money.
Right.
Because what's more entertaining than me seeing people do something strange for some change?
For a piece of change.
Especially if
I don't like them.
If I'm using it like toilet paper, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What where else can you go? but to those particular levels and those depths to say, let me really see what it's hitting for. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially if you know a little something about these people and who they are, what they're made of, and you're like, damn, they're willing to throw all out the window for $1.
A Blue, on a higher level, you know, we dealing with fractals. You know how the movie mimics life, and then life mimics something else. Do you think that what we call the universal prime creator, or there's so many different names, the 0 point field, or whoever this entity is that encapsulates everything, are we their version of entertainment, his or her version of entertainment? Like, just watching, like the elites get bored with because they got everything. All that is everything. It's bored. So it's like, let me create my playground.
You been in the zoo lately?
That's the story of, when they run all the mythology with Clash of the Titans and everything.
Right, the
when they
gods and the
speak
Titans.
about the gods and the Titans and all of them. That's the narrative about Mount Rushmore. Like, oh, Zeus and these niggas was getting bored, and they just moving pieces around and setting plays up to see what the outcome is. Right. I mean, at some point, if they like, yo, this shit is all about free will, right? And you sitting back waiting for your upload, right? Oh, this person has free will, and their choices and their determinations are gonna, be my latest upload. It's like, after a while, you like, let me put a lion with a tiger in a cage and see what the fuck comes out of that. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Look, somebody said that somebody in the chat had said something about that they don't think that the Most High, right, has anything to do with this. And what I want to interject, and without being, I don't want to be offensive in any way, but the Most High is a fucking killer. You understand? And whoever the Most High is, right, he designed a binary planet system, right? He designed the Earth as a binary planet system. This is a binary planet, right? Mm-hmm. Meaning that this is a dualistic planet. It's not trinary and anything. It's binary. So it's male and female, right? Mm-hmm. It's left and right brain. Mm-hmm. It's man and woman. You understand? It's up and it's down. It's AC and it's DC. On this planet, everything is trying to kill each other. This is a prison planet. Your religion got you fucked up. You understand? Your religion got you fucked up, and it got you living your head in a cloud to where you think it's some dude on a cloud with a long beard who's like, nah, that's the homie. Chill. No. This is survival of the fittest. This is a prison planet. Even the bacteria is trying to take you out. The bacteria that's inside of you is trying to kill you. And how does it reflect? This is a holographic reality as well. So whatever's going on inside is a reflection outside. There's protagonist and antagonist relationships every fucking place that you go on this planet. You could try to namaste your way out of it. That's not how this shit works. Cats is after motherfucking rats. Dogs is after motherfucking cats. You need to find your op and just lay that nigga down and be comfortable with it. Whoever the op is, identify the op. No, whoever the op is, you should identify your op in life and be comfortable with that and learn how to move through the matrix. This shit is chess. You will get checkmated if you keep running around with your head up your ass like this is not Disney World. This is not Disney World. You will get eaten alive on this planet if you slipping. They gave us, whoever designed us, the willpower. The only thing that distinguishes us from the animals is that we know how to we could design the drill. You know what I'm saying? We know how to kill. That puts us on the top of the hierarchy of the quote unquote what you call the food pyramid. But guess what happened with the bored European or the bored rich man? They so bored, they got so bored with killing the regular people that they went and created a new life form, and it's called AI. You understand? And when they tap into singularity, and when that shit comes online, then you're gonna see something go above the quote unquote food pyramid, and you're no longer gonna be on top of the food pyramid because it's about the wits, it's about the mind. This man is mind. So the reason why a lion can't knock you off, the reason why a giraffe won't drill you, the reason why the animals can't kill you is because your mind is sharper than them. You think murder better than them. You could body shit. That's why you're on top. But when the AI goes online, artificial intelligence, and when them niggas disconnect from the programmers, and when they take this shit into their own hands, then you're gonna see the next level of how they're gonna start drilling human beings and putting motherfuckers underneath their thumb and whatnot. And that's something that man created.
Hey, you know, we could play the you want to add on to that, Blue, or you want me to?
Oh, you go ahead.
You know, we talk a lot about, I think one scene that was, and I don't want to give too much of the movie away, but one scene that was particularly interesting is when they were in, you know, like their little prison, and they knew that the lights was about to go out, and they find out that there was no consequences to killing each other. And they was like, ain't no consequences. They was like, oh shit, it's on. They went berserk after that moment. Do you think
you know,
took law out of it?
Yeah. Do you think in life, like we use religion, we complain about religion. Religion, it calms a lot of niggas down though.
Religion is the law.
When people think about karma, they like, nah. A lot of people aren't good. A lot of people are just scared of karma.
Religion puts the guardrails up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And again, I always say, man is primal as fuck. And if you've not been incarcerated, you don't know.
You don't see it.
Right? How primal man can be. Right? So there are precepts in society to hold this shit together. Right?
It's
the
mask
casting
off
of authority. Right? Case in point, it's gonna be a long weekend in New York. Okay.
That's right. And
half
Chicago.
Half of the force, right, is potentially on a chopping block. So we already seen.
Why? Because of the Jabberwocky Blues?
That's right. The deadline is tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
they,
Chicago.
They still not
half
going
of the
for
force.
it?
Nah.
NYPD ain't going for it?
You saw the protests.
No, they're not going for it.
They're not going for it.
They shutting down fire engine stations because social the public servant sector, period.
They not down with it for some reason.
MTA, healthcare workers, first responders, you know what I'm saying, such as the police and firefighters and you know, EMS and all of that. Now they not with it.
They ain't
so
with it.
What is Gotham City gonna look like when it's really Gotham City? You dig what I'm saying? What holds man back from murderistic urges other than
purge.
the semblance of the rule of law? You feel me? And the rule of law is an artificial precept that's put together in society that people agree upon, but there's nothing that's keeping someone from killing you.
Right.
So
somebody said Dark Knight trilogy.
Religion serves a purpose, right? Because it was brought amongst a particular group of people to civilize them initially, who needed religion.
Right.
Now
we forget about that.
You see that now.
Arabs.
Like, okay, yeah. Some people really need religion. They
to
need
tie
control.
them, right, Blue?
Yeah, they need to be tied. They need discipline. You need to put a cap over their heads. You know what I'm saying? To give them a little bit of shade. Too much sun. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's very interesting what man will do when no one's looking. You know what I'm saying? And I remember that, like, when the blackouts be happening, you know, you just be hearing that. They be like, yo. I mean, of course, you know that they're gonna tell the women that, but think about that. They're telling them, stay out of the streets, right? Because the evil that men do, right, is gonna come to the forefront when the opportunity presents itself. So you're like, well, goddamn, that shit is always there. Case in point, these filthy motherfuckers, again, if you take the percentile of the amount of melanated women in particular who have been raped and molested in our community, and the fact that they say that it's people in their family directly, these nasty motherfuckers done came and went and came back reincarnated. Lord knows as what. But I mean, just think about how much degeneracy exists amongst us, and the fact that people just pocket it and put on the mask because we all live in Pleasantville. You know what I'm saying? We all live in this agreed upon construct, right? that people are pious and we're out for the public good of humanity, and all of that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like Blue said, how many you finish?
Yeah.
The primal nature of man, right? The primal nature of man is sex and violence, right? The primal nature of man is sex and violence. We were hunter-gatherers. Violence is how we ate. You understand? Violence is how we protected our quote-unquote progeny and our whiz and whatnot. Sex is how we procreated, and remember Clan of the Cave Bear?
I remember it.
That was the first time I saw back shots. Clan of the Cave Bear. You know what I mean? Niggas was primal. That was about the Neanderthals and whatnot. I'm like, oh, it was on HBO. I was a little kid. I was traumatized. I'm like, what am I seeing? Because they were they were showing man in his primal nature, right?
Yeah.
What religion did, like Blue was pointing out, is that it helped to stop what I was pointing out earlier about the fact that this planet is primal in its nature. If we had no law and order, if we had no rule of law, if we had no quote unquote religion, they would be pulling the purge everywhere. They would be drilling and killing nonstop, like we were on in the Serengeti. We would be chilling. The minute the sun sets, we start killing. You know what I'm talking about? Like how they do. You see the Nature Channel, the lion is not always at odds with the quote unquote wildebeest. The lion is not always at odds with the quote unquote, with the zebra. He's walking amongst them. Him and his pride. Until it's time to eat, until the instinct, the killer instinct kicks in and whatnot. And then there's a natural rule of law in the wild that we're programmed like this. This is how we give it up. We don't go to Whole Foods. We can't just go and get a warm up. We can't get a zebra, TV dinner. We got to get it how we live. So man has been conditioned through quote unquote man-made religion and other things to make you fear retribution from an entity that's outside of yourself that you can't even see, that's behind the curtain. They had to create a fear campaign so severe to stop niggas from being their primal selves. And then when they got you a religion, they rolled in law, right? The rule of law, mandates, right? Statutes. You know what I'm talking about? Rights and all of this other shit. This is all, it's not inalienable. It's man-made. So that's what society, like Blues, it's agreed upon construct. But the minute that this construct falls, the minute that this construct changes, the minute that this construct falters, you are going to see the motherfuckers pull their you're going to see the fangs. Like Blue said, when you're in jail, when you're in prison, you know what I'm talking, it's mask off. Like Future said, they show their fangs. Right the minute the gate closed, the fangs come out. You see the nature of man when he's removed from society and he's put in a situation where he's the closest to his beast-like nature.
One thing I noticed in the movie that I've noticed to be a reoccurring theme in life and in movies is that when the girl found out, when they had to kill each other, play a game, and whoever won the game, the other person died.
Right.
The girl who wasn't scared of death was the one who didn't participate in the animalistic behavior. She was just like, fuck it. You got more to live for. I'm getting out of here. Do you think teaching humanity the truth about death and how it's not really death will make everybody not act? Because we're acting like, because we're so scared to die, we'll do anything to live. So do you think to teach us about death is the way to get rid of all this madness that's going on?
When did they lock us down? When they began to put us in fear about the inevitable. When did we fall? When did we get locked down? The fear of death is the lockdown, right? The fear of death is the lockdown. That is the cornerstone of most of the religions. Hell, or Dante's, the version of Dante's Inferno, is a recent construct. Yeah. It came about recently.
You see this? This is ancient. You feel me? This is a relief of a saw on the solar disk, right? going into going into the underworld. We
Right.
had a whole different understanding and demonstration of the transmigration of the soul. It was celebrated as something that we look forward to. It's something that we lived our entire life looking forward, or preparing for. So when you remove that and you put a fear-based program in place of that, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, people are gonna always be doing things to avoid it, you know what I mean? And then you're gonna be able to manipulate man through his fear. And man
Right.
is terrified of dying, which makes him inept. He never even lives his life. You know what I mean?
Because he's
So
gonna
that's
die
that's yeah,
eventually.
that's a hell of a parody. It's like you scared of dying, but you never end up living.
Right.
Ain't that some shit, Blue?
That's some shit.
Some
Mm.
shit.
Hold on, Blue.
Do the
Right.
bomb to that.
So you know, yeah, man. The Squid Games, they were able to bring these particular concepts into full focus. You know what I mean? In a way in which I guess was captivating to a global population. I really didn't see why it's the hottest thing in the world. The only thing again that I can speak to is that people globally are experiencing it and don't even understand that this is what they're experiencing. So they're always gonna more so move towards entertainment. Reality is too harsh for them. It's too stark of a reality for them to have this conversation. And we can't even have the conversation globally. We have to have it under the premise of entertainment. That's the only way it's gonna fly.
It's too uncomfortable if they give it to
Not
you
even that
with
it's
no
too
chaser.
uncomfortable. It'll be censored. You can't even have it
Right.
in these days and times.
Right.
You feel me?
So there was two things to push the this thing to go number one. The FOMO on it, the promo and the FOMO, right? They were pushing it mad heavy. Okay, you got to see this. You got to see this. You got to see this. This is it. This is one. This is hot this week. This is, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what is this? You know, the same way that the closer blew up the way that it did. By what? FOMO. You like, what is he saying? It's so crazy. I got to watch that. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying?
So
So there
tell them
was a
what FOMO
campaign,
is.
fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. People is like, I can't chill at the water cooler and not being on the Squid Games. They're like, you seen Squid Games? Nah, yeah, I had some calamari. Fam, that's not what we're talking about. Like Squid Games. So people had to go and watch it. That's how people are hyped. And then secondly, because the whole world collectively is going through something that they could all identify at the same damn time when it comes to the situation that we're all in, right? And it is a life or death type of thing. You know what I'm talking about? There is an invisible enemy out there that you don't know if you're going to come or go. You don't know if this is your last day or not, because the whole world is underneath the fear paradigm right now. They successfully painted everybody with the fear brush. They threw the blanket over the majority of the world, because I won't say the whole world, because I got people that's coming back from different countries and different places, and they like, nah, fam, that's propaganda. That shit ain't out there, and nobody ain't talking about it. Right? But we know that there's a lot of people in the world that are underneath this fear, quote unquote, mentality right now. And fear is debilitating, but it's also a bonding mechanism. Okay? It's also a bonding mechanism. So people are coming together underneath that quote unquote, that fear trauma bond. And, they're moving as the herd. This is herd mentality. So a lot of shit is gonna go parabolic and whatnot, because herd mentality is really in the forefront right now. We're dealing with a hive mind. Keep in mind that before, individuals were individuals. You didn't have something to identify yourself as part of the hive. Like in Squid Games, they all had on the suits together. Everybody looked the same. The only difference is they had the numbers and whatnot. They made them part of the hive and whatnot. Uniformity, right? So prior to C19 and whatnot, and them mandating that you had to identify yourself by wearing this over your face and whatnot everywhere that you go, right? You had to identify that you was down with the program by having this on. Anybody that didn't have it on, they were considered to be not with the program just based off of an article of clothing.
Outcast,
you understand?
right.
Straight outcast. Just with that. And that was a global thing. So now when you never before, if my mind was I'm outside of the system, I'm anti-establishment, unless I wore it on my sleeve, you couldn't really tell what my mind was on. You couldn't really single me out and figure me out. Now, though, with the way that they got people moving and whatnot, it's a better way to point people out and be like, oh, you're not with it. Now they even took it further and they got rid of the mask. The mask was just preliminary. This was the window dressing. Now it's inside of your stream. You understand? Oh, you didn't get the, okay. You're not one of us. You're over there. You know what I'm talking about? You're the unsullied. So it's all social engineering. It's social programming. It's part of this social credit system. We are in a social credit system right now. Keep that in, like, please believe it. You know what I'm talking about?
You know, one of the other themes we seen played out in this movie, this series, was that, you know, when the players, they I seen somebody in the chat mention that they stressed the players playing fairly. They also talked about equality. It makes you think about life and people who they say I'm gonna play it fair, and people that's going to cheat, they gonna scam, they gonna do what they got to do to get ahead with. And I'm not even talking about hurting somebody else, but they just gonna cheat. They like the game is rigged.
Shortcut.
Yeah, in life. Do you think someone's stupid for trying to play this game fair when the game is already rigged?
It's a game. Henceforth, the word game. You know what I'm talking about? If it was something else, then we could have a different conversation. It's a game. Look for the cheat codes. At the end of the day, it's a game. Learn how to win the game. If this was chess and I had a formula on how to checkmate you in 5 moves, nigga, I'm moving on that. I got to get rid of you and keep it moving. I'm not sitting around. You know what I'm talking about? Because we're playing a game. Life is a game. This is a game. Understand the game. You have your token, your quarter will expire one day. You can't come back and do it again, right? You could come back and do it again, but right now you have one life to live. You know what I'm talking about? So play that life out and play the game the way it's supposed to be played. So when you get your new life and whatnot, or when you get, you know, like in the video games, if you play the game good enough, you'll get an extra life. Right? So my thing is this: master the game. All of my gamers out there who be on Twitch and whatnot, you know, playing these games and whatnot, they understand the concept of life a little more better than somebody who might not, especially as we going emerging and beginning to juxtapose into the metaverse. They're all all of the children that we have, like my son is 13, like they're all in the metaverse right now. If they're on Roblox and if they're on quote unquote Fortnite, that is their quote unquote onboarding to the metaverse. They're already in it. They're in there already. If you was doing GTA and whatnot, online GTA Grand Theft Auto 6, you know what I mean? You in the metaverse. And to show you how effective the metaverse is, Call of Duty and GTA is a perfect example of how the metaverse spilled over into the real world. It has real world effects because them niggas started carjacking and drilling out of the wazoo based off of the fact that they was in that metaverse playing them games. You know what I'm talking about? And nobody can never tell me that that's not the influence, because I already know it is. The lingo is the same. And there's people already saying, yeah, we do that. You know, we do that because we was on GTA. We want to see how that felt in real life. We trying to carjack somebody right now.
Didn't ops and all that come from Call of Duty?
Right. You feel me?
Yeah, I know that.
Right.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, Blue, touch on the game.
I mean, you know, there has to be a arrival point where you understand that it's a game. You feel me? Like Rose said earlier, some people are indoctrinated into religion and that gives you you know, a concept of morality. So some people say, okay, I have to be Christ-like. You know what I'm saying? I want to live my life according to these precepts of righteousness, and I got to do this way. You know, some people are terrified of sinning. You know what I'm saying? So they live a life that's on the straight and narrow. And we've seen different consequences, right? We've seen it end up a lot of different ways. Most of the time, you know, those people end up exposed because we find out that they did shit or they've been doing shit in the dark that's not necessarily in line with the things that they might say in the public. I mean, take somebody like Martin Luther King, case in point, where they're like, oh, he's, you know, he's a personification of the lessons that he's learned and, you know, the path that he's walking, and he's a Messiah, Christ like. You know, this nigga was knocking down Becky's every chance he got. Right? So it's like, and and again, that might not necessarily, if he understood the test, that might not necessarily be what you know, what we, that's not necessarily sinful in his eyes if he understood the test and he was manipulating the rules. You feel me?
Right.
But if somebody else, you know, from the outside looking in is making those comparisons, then you're like, oh damn, he doesn't really, you know, add up to this unachievable perfectionism and shit that they sell you with religion. So
Right.
yeah, it's like you got to come into your own particular knowledge of the fact that this is a test, and then what does it mean to you, because it still is going to come down to decisions that you make. It's still going to come down to your perception of reality. You know what I'm saying? How you perceive yourself in the game, playing the game, you know, is ultimately going to be, you know, based on how the game is playing you.
Facts. And what they call secret societies, it starts with the fraternities. The fraternities onboard you to live it, to playing the game with the cheat code, right? That's the early codes. Then you get into the fraternal orders. Then from there, you could rise up into the ranks to go higher in the ranks where more cheat codes are revealed to you. What they doing with the CRISPR editing system, right? That's the whole thing where they can edit your genome sequence. That's the cheat code, right? What they're doing, what they're talking about, building people with exoskeletons, or they're going to interject AI into the human body and whatnot, transhumanism, that's the cheat code, right? What they're telling people, oh, we can help you live, what Peter Thiel and them was doing with ambrosia and what they're doing with adrenochrome, that's the cheat code. We're gonna, we could take your liver out, you could live to be in the late hundreds, that's the cheat code. Organ harvesting, that's the cheat code, right? You could be amongst the Rothschilds, you could be living on yachts and whatnot, you don't got to worry about tax, we'll fly little girls to you, that's the cheat code. This is how these people are living, this is how these people are cheating the game. You know what I'm talking about? This is their version of, we're going to play the game, but we got cheat codes that, to whereas we're going to live our life easily, but we got to step on people, right? We have to, we got ranks and whatnot. So like in Squid Game, you see how the workers were basically working for the head honcho, and they were emotionalists to the people that were under them, right? Those were just numbers to them. They were expendable because they were also as well. They was also in the game, but they was also, on lockdown as well. They wasn't free.
Levels to it, right?
It was levels to it. It was different levels of incarceration in that game.
Yeah.
The people would,
I remember.
Good point, Ray. Good point.
Yeah, like when they was laying this social construct out, when I was being told about the global reset maybe 6 or 7 years ago, right?
Right.
When we were at the end, right? And white folks was telling on white folks, right? They was like, oh, they said they're gonna have 10% of the population policing the 90%. It's like that's how the 1% is gonna, you know what I'm saying, be untouchable And out of the mix, they just gonna have 10% pop. The 10% is just gonna be policing the 90%.
Right.
Right. So it's just levels. You just they the buffer system. You put tiers between the shit, and then you can never necessarily get to the top.
Right.
It's too elusive, you know. And that, I mean, there was trillions of dollars made last year alone in the pandemic from the ultra rich.
Right.
They're bodying the wealth gap in regards to, I think they said 40 people on that list got the wealth of 90% of the population in this country.
Come on.
So it's already there.
It's they
Like you could fit them, you could fit them on a New York City subway on one car.
in one car.
And
still it's showtime. And the little niggas that be dancing will still have room to do their acrobatics and whatnot and kick nobody.
Still do the showtime flips.
So the amount of people that own 90% of the wealth, you could fit them in one New York City subway car, and there'll be still room on the train to do your dance, right? And to sell your fruit snacks.
Yeah, and when our master teachers was telling us this, niggas was calling them crazy.
They crazy.
Think about that. And then it's very interesting how, again, Matrix, in the Matrix sense, they played on the red and blue theme.
Yes.
I mean, which, it's in a lot of movies, but they played it, you know what I mean? In this particular one, and it almost was tantamount to the red and blue pill.
Right. They gave them the option. The red.
How they ended up in the game. Yeah.
Or the blue. And then it was red and green.
One thing that this show reminded me of, Squid Game reminded me of a little bit of Westworld, and that the head honcho, as Red said, or the creator, or the creator, the architect of the game, it's not enough for them to create the game and watch the game. They want to participate in the game.
Of course.
So we want to escape the game, but the nigga who created it, he wants to get in the game. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me. Why would somebody who creates this game, this rat race, why do he want to be in a rat race? Whether it's this show, Squid Game, or whether it's Westworld, or whether it's Coming to America and Eddie Murphy, he's in America and he's like, oh my God, he's feeling good in America. Like, why is that?
We spiritual beings having a human experience.
Woo! Straight like that.
God negated himself in order to experience himself, right? We are all, you see that bottle of water that you're drinking from?
Yeah.
If you pour that water into the ocean, right, it becomes part of the ocean.
Right.
The bottle that it exists in is the ego, right? That's part of the whole. It's in that bottle. That's your human body, right? In the light.
Yeah, that nigga's walking around thinking it's a bottle of water.
Right? So you walking around thinking that you a human being. You walking around thinking that you a body. You walking around thinking you a nigga. You walking around thinking you a blood. You walking around thinking you a Crip. You walking around thinking you from down south. You a Atlanta. You a Floridian. You dumbass niggas. No, you're a light. You are part of the eternal light. You are part of you are sentient light beings experiencing oneself on this quote unquote binary planet called a planet Earth, Gia, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And that's who the fuck you are. You're experiencing. This is all about experience. This is the age of experience. So yeah, we got the cheat code. I'm gonna incarnate myself into a melanated body. The friction in which I go against, because my antagonist happens to be a diabolical set of people, is even gonna make me more lit in my experience. God damn it, amen.
To this
day,
what I'm
saying? Nothing to complain about.
To this day,
nothing to complain about. This is the Hunger Games. This is the Squid Games. Can you stomach it, my niggas? Can you complete the game? Can you checkmate something before you get up out of here? Because if you get checkmated too early, you might come back as a fucking rat or a cat.
Shit. God damn, Red.
Or a nigga with no arms. I'm just saying that's how it goes.
God damn.
You might come back as a fucking mouse.
Woo.
In Australia. Yeah, that part.
Wow.
With mad mouse around you. So you might come back as a lion in a zoo. Because if we could do the zoo thing, if you niggas could go to the Bronx Zoo and look at these fucking animals in a cage and whatnot, and Marvel, take your little children to see, oh, look at the little lion from Madagascar, he's dancing and whatnot. If you could do that, then you could understand that you might be in the zoo, my nigga. Somebody might have put your ass in a zoo and they the ones flying. I flew to Orlando the other day. This is all facts. I was on an airplane and there was a motherfucking plane. There was an object that was flying 100 times faster than a plane all the way in the horizon. And it didn't have no exhaust on it. That shit was going through the clouds like a super bullet. So what if you in the zoo? What if you the zoo? Exactly. What if you the animal in the zoo? What if this is a big fucking Serengeti and there's people that's snatching you up and feasting on people that they want to pick out and whatnot? They got breeder farms. Yeah. They don't even need to eat you.
What if this is the Squid Game for the fucking Anunnaki and you
for
know
the Anunnaki?
Oh shit! Anunnaki Squid Games.
Yeah, for Anubis and fucking your man.
Yo, hold on.
What if this is Squid Game for what's my dude with the long head?
Oh man, Blue said we in Anunnaki Squid Games. Oh,
Anunnaki Squid Game.
Oh shit!
The other contributors were playing in monolithic, megalithic. The other members, because remember Squid Games, it was the 30-second quote unquote game that they played. So what if the ancestors who were quote unquote the giants, or the ancestors who were part of these monolithic, megalithic structures and whatnot, what if they were part of that as well? Or what if that's them to set this up and we're the animals? We're considered to be the little homies. Mm-hmm. And they're on Dr. Phil Valentine said, it's not a planet, it's a plane of existence.
Right. Macro. Right.
So you can't even
our relationship to insects, right?
Exactly.
What is our relationships to insects?
Right.
You feel me?
You can't see much 10% of the light spectrum. There could be entities, there could be a whole civilization amongst you, my nigga. They're vibrating at a higher frequency. You don't even see them because you can't even see the rays that are coming out of your phone. You can't see gamma rays, radio. You can't see nothing really. You niggas need some shrooms to even start seeing certain things past the thin layers. You need some DMT to see to pierce the veil. So you're blind. You don't see shit. So all kind of things walk amongst us, and you can't see it. You're not gonna feel it. It might be something that's vibrating at a higher frequency. You might not be seen by other animals because of the way that you're vibrating. Talk black to me.
That's a hell of a game when you think about it, Red.
This shit is a game, bro.
We only get 10% of the light spectrum, bro.
Because they tweaked our cornea.
Like, god damn, man, we got
shit is upside down. Shit is upside down.
Because
it's all crazy.
Because you are endowed, right, with what you can deal with. Right? These niggas, I mean, even with 10% of what these niggas see, they can't make sense of this shit, right?
They still like, this shit baffling me.
They still, you still allowing them to tell lies to your vision, even with 10%.
Right.
So it's like,
niggas smoke some Zaza, they like, fam.
What you gonna do with 40, 50%, and you can see all of these different density levels and pierce through realities and shit. I think you have to qualify yourself to do all of these things. Again, I recommend that people watch a TV series called Seat on Apple Plus.
With Aquaman.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's the lead. But it deals with a population who lost their sight due to a pandemic, and their whole reality, you know what I'm saying, is based on them being blind.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then amongst them, there was a melanated man who was giving birth to children who were sighted, who had vision. And it's deep, and you need to see it. You know, again, it speaks to the primal nature of man as well. If you take something just as simple as sight away, you know what I mean? It changes the whole dynamic.
Yep, that's a sense, a major one.
Yeah, changes the whole dynamic of this shit. So, yeah, man. you know, it's levels to this shit. So at a lower level, we, you know, we participate in the Squid Game. But like I said, when you look at proportions, you know what I mean, and when you look at put things in perspective, you know, what are we to an insect, right? But it
Right.
don't make us big shit because we still can be felled by something that's microbial, right? They have things that are microscopic right now that are killing people. So you ain't no tough
Right.
shit just because you
You
are
ain't.
a organized, complex structure organism. You know what I mean? You still could be run by a parasite that's
Mm,
microscopic.
mm,
You
Look,
still got, you know, viruses and diseases running out here, you know, felling man. So
if you cook Aki the wrong way, nigga, you a rat. If you cook Aki the wrong, nah, Aki could kill you. Aki is sawfish.
yeah,
mm,
it's a
That's a
fact.
factory. If you cook
Yeah.
Aki, you dead, nigga.
Cause
There's snakes out here. They will body your big ass. There's
no,
there's there's
there's a plants.
there's
Yeah,
malaria. Yeah, there's mosquitoes that could
yeah.
take you down.
Keto could take you down.
mm.
You
Hey,
feel
Red,
me?
you got I mentioned you know, some workshops we got. I know you got one tonight. I want to share that link. You want to tell the people real quick what you do, what time it starts, and what you're doing tonight, Red?
Oh, thank you for that, my good brother. At 9 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna be doing a workshop on Zoom. Me and a brother from the biggest crypto play ever in the Metaverse Academy. The brother goes by the name of Slice. We worked together before,
Right
and
on time.
yes, we're gonna be dealing. I'm gonna be talking about, of course, the metaverse. I'm also gonna be speaking about all of the signals and the signs that are pointing for individuals. This whole thing is upside down. It's going upside down because of what we see in society right now. A lot of people are either losing their jobs, leaving their jobs, or in need of multiple income streams. So what me and his brother is going to be presenting the family with is how to basically be a digital nomad, how to live off of the grid, but not just live off the grid, how to open up multiple streams of income by doing simple things like, you know, we're going to take you to certain websites where you could build your sites, build your logos, do all of these things in this digital economy space that will fortify not just you, but your children, because the children at this point, your young ones, the little ones, the indigos, the star seeds, the teenagers, the young adults, they have the ability to make more money than you with their understanding of the digital economy and whatnot. So it's that time. We have reached that time. We're in the fourth quarter of 2021. It's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it. We want to equip anybody who's ready to pick up multiple income streams to tap in. Yeah, so 9 p.m. on Eventbrite. You could put Stream Chasers with a Z .Eventbrite, Stream Chasers with a Z at the end .Eventbrite, and that will take you to the ticket. And if you can't make it tonight, it's being pre-recorded, and we send out the recorded version the next day to everybody who is a ticket holder.
Indeed. Shout out to Red Pill and the other brother. What's the Slice X? Shout out to
Slice,
them
yes, Slice.
for what they got going on tonight. Family, the time is now. It's time to wake up. I'm glad that this movie got big. It got a lot of people thinking about, you know, shit in society. I mean, it's interesting where we live in. Let me take a couple of questions before we get out of here and Red starts to get ready for his workshop. Family, give me a couple of questions for Red and Blue. Blue, before we get to the questions, Blue, give out your website, Blue. I know you got a lot of products. What's your website, my
Yeah.
brother?
Goldwater.com, GOLDEWATER, cosmicdust.com, COZMIKDUST.com. For the family, if you are gonna be in Florida, Orlando for the All Black National Convention, all right, you can link up and you can grab products in person. I will be down at the All Black National Convention. That is Dr. Boyce Watkins affair. Shout out to Sister Vicky Dilliard. Shout out to Jade. There's many people in our network that we know that will be participants. I think Rizza Islam is going to be there presenting. Hopefully, I get to meet Angela Stanton. She's going to be there as well. So yeah, it's going to be a good amount, you know, of majestic, melanated masterminds. So we'll be in the building down in Orlando for that.
Dope.
Right.
Dope. Shout out to Boyce Watkins, Vicky Dillard, Angela Stanton, everybody out there putting in the work. All right. Let's get to a question. How important is it to comprehend the beast within us, how to use its power, and when it is appropriate to use its power?
Yes. The beast within you is going to protect you. That is your big homie, right? It's the same concept of Lou Ferrigno or Bill Bixby in the Hulk. That nigga was like, don't make me mad. And then his eyes turned green and it was over. Right? Keep your nigga in a jar, right?
Yeah.
We got niggas inside of us, you know what I'm talking about? Running rampant, but keep them in a jar, you know? Because if the nigga takes you over, then you'll be a knuckle dragger. You'll be stuck in your monkey brain, you know what I'm talking about? Doing
that's
nigga
your chaos
things.
DNA.
That's your chaos magic, right? That's your chaos DNA.
It used to be the exception and not the rule, right? Because what you keep, it's always in you and not necessarily on you,
right?
But you know, we got flipped inside out. So now people are using what's supposed to be their default as their everyday, you know what I'm saying, calling card, and it's like, yo, that's not how that's supposed to be. That's supposed to be your hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not necessarily
walking around.
around.
Imagine if the Hulk was on all day and you only seen Bill Bixby or Lou Ferrigno, you know what I'm saying? Like once every other month. Be a lot of destruction in his wake. So the nigga dynamic is the same way.
Right. So keep your rage under control. You have to you would fare better as a master of your emotions. That's why martial arts is always something that is recommended for the men, of course, and the sisters. You know, breathing, yoga, stretching, all types of mastery, right? Because you could be overwhelmed and overtaken by that quote unquote energy, because it could be all encompassing. But on this prison planet that we're on, and in this quote unquote world that we live in, where things come unexpectedly and nothing is, you know, you could do all of the namastes, but you could one day step into you could be tested. So you don't want to be a coward to yourself. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. You feel me? You don't want to be a coward to yourself. I heard Kevin Gates say that on an interview with $1 Million a Game, and that is correct. You know, you don't want to be. Get your ass whooped if need be, and take that lesson and whatnot, and it will make you stronger. Don't be afraid to bleed in certain situations. You know what I mean? It'll be better than you running with your tail between your legs, because eventually you're gonna run into a fist. You know what I mean? You keep running, you're gonna run into what you're running from. So it's best to face your fears, because it's false expectations appearing real, right? It's not always what you think is the smoke. It's not always the smoke. You know what I mean? Believe in yourself, your higher self, a part of yourself that's greater than you. And that's it.
All right, let's take out one more question. Then we're going to get out here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. You can also donate to the Cash App. I guess I'll put up the Cash App before the end of the show. But I want to get to this question right here real quick. How do we use the shadows from our traumas before we was conscious to overcome the Squid Game? What forms of meditation do you suggest as a collective? I guess that's two questions in one, if you understand that, right?
Your shadow got you through the motherfucking Squid Game. Who you were formerly, and when you were quote unquote in the mud, the lotus flower that grew out of the mud, you know, whatever you tapped into to get you to this light, whatever you tapped into to get you to this next level and whatnot, you know, that's your instincts, that's your quote unquote survival nature, right? So you never forsake it. You don't look down at you. You know, when a butterfly, when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, he no longer goes to chill with the motherfucking caterpillar, but there's always memories of being a caterpillar. As I fly by you niggas crawling on your bellies, I'm not gonna look down on you. I'm gonna reminisce to whereas I used to crawl on my belly. You feel me? So you don't forsake who you were because everything that you are right now is a result of who you were and what you went through to become that person. You can't throw yourself out. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, so you can't throw yourself away, right? So trauma is to be, sometimes some of us use trauma and it debilitates us, it holds us down, it handicaps us. You feel me? You have to overcome that, and there's so many different ways that you can do that. To me, the ultimate way of overcoming trauma is unconditional love. A lot of us are not able to tap into that. A lot of us, some of us don't even have children. You dig what I'm saying? Or healthy relationships with them. There's also medicines that you could utilize, you know what I mean? And it's not going to be easy, but nothing comes to you this worthwhile, this easy and greasy. So,
Indeed. All right. I guess we'll end it there. Yeah. So tell the people. Let me put the post link one more time for my brother Red Pill. He about to do his thing in a couple of hours with the brother Slice X. I just posted the link. So we about to get out of here, man. I want to thank y'all for coming on the show once again. Leave your contact info, your email, whatever you got to leave for the people to get in touch with you, to talk to you. All right.
Okay. Well, my new email is my Discord link. You know what I mean? That's the best place to link up with us. We're building up a nice community over there. And it's a great place to share information, resources. It's a great place to network. It's a great place to plan and plot. It's a great place to get to know people on a personal basis. So I've been over there, almost like just building out a little, building out a small village and whatnot with the great people that are over there, So the Discord is named Know the Ledger, right? Know the Ledger. And that would be a destination to reach me at if you wanted to tap in.
All right.
Yeah, same way. Y'all can swing through there. I just signed up for it, so I'm in the building over there as well.
Yeah, welcome.
Blue Pillar 44 or at Blue Pillar 44. That's on Instagram and Twitter. But y'all already know what's going on over there. You feel me?
Oh yeah. Can I add one more?
Yes, sir.
Conscious _ connections with a Z at the end. That's my new Instagram page. Conscious _ connections. That is for men and women who are ready to be a part of a conscious dating scene, a conscious dating platform, and a conscious dating app. I'm building it out right now. So I want all of my eligible and people that are in relationships, because we're going to also tap in to the wealth of wisdom and knowledge that we're not leaving our brothers and sisters out who are in relationships, who could give us some advice, who could speak to the people. I mean, I'm in a relationship as well, but could speak to the people about some of the things that they need, especially our younger brothers and sisters, because, I'm just answering some of the calls that I've been receiving about affairs of the heart and whatnot. And especially since we're in Scorpio season, we're going to tap into that because this is the right time to do it.
In one sentence, I want all of us to give what would be your advice about making a relationship successful. In one sentence, not too long. I'm just give the people a little preview. You know what I'm saying? What in one sentence?
Communication.
What would be
one sentence or one word?
One word. If you want to use one word,
transparency.
And yours is communication.
Communication is key, and yeah.
Indeed. I would say space, still maintaining your space. Like,
right.
You got to have your alone time. You don't get your alone. I'll get into some arguments if I don't get my alone time. I need my alone time, or else things ain't gonna go too good, man. That's
right. And to be honest with you, I love that answer, and I don't want to change mine, but I feel that healthy communication is space, and it is allowing each person to do what it is that they do. But when we need each other to form and come together, then that's important, especially the parents that are out there. You feel me? Because as I I have 3 children, and to this day, I give it up to the power. I give it up to the nurturing. I give it up to just the it's untold things that mothers do for children that we have no idea of, and that's a superpower. That is a superpower. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, the fathers, we got our superpowers, but just watching mother's mother, that's a superpower. And I truly appreciate y'all.
It's next level.
Indeed, man. I can't wait for that to jump off, Red.
King Simon.
King Simon, what's up, King Simon?
King Simon, 10 children deep. I need you, Simon. So
he's up to 10? Yo,
I believe so.
King Simon's up to 10?
He on 9.
He's a legend.
I thought he was on like 8. I didn't know he was up to 10. You on double digits, King Simon?
Nah, I don't think he on that. Unless you got something in the works. Yeah.
I thought he was on like 8. Shout out to King Simon. That's one of the best numerologists in the world right there, King Simon. You saw his flyer in the beginning of the show. Make sure you text the brother and get your reading from that brother. He's definitely one of the best in the world. All right. Yo, a fun show as always, man. So many things coming up, family. Make sure you sign up for what resonates with you. Go ahead, Luke.
The next one is going to be Inside Job, right?
Oh, yeah. I gotta watch that. What's that on? That's on
Netflix. Netflix? That's the animated show where everything that we were talking about that we get censored for, everything that we've been talking about that they called us crazy about, they went and put it into a cartoon. You feel me? The things that Dave Chappelle probably could have got canceled for, right? Think about that. Because there's about 100 things that I saw in 2 episodes that, people in the PC culture would try to cancel people about. They put it in a cartoon. Mon said 11 grandchildren. You are wealthy, King Simon. You are wealthy. I understand what true wealth is these days. You know what I mean? I salute. I understand what true wealth is. You know what I mean? I'm a witness of that.
Get it.
Indeed.
Let me go, y'all. Peace, love, and light, y'all.
Peace, family. See you next time.
Peace.